All right. We are live. We got 10 out of the 13 players from Survivor Wisconsin Season 7 New Blood. How the hell is everybody doing? It's been, a month and a half since the season, and it's all over already. It's crazy. Nobody's good? Nobody's got nothing to say?
Oh, I thought you were going to keep talking. I'm great.
Could be better.
Awkward. Anyway, so tonight we're going to touch on some of the best moments from this season, award winners too. So we'll start off with the winner of the season, Taylor. Congratulations again.
I mean, congrats.
So, Taylor, why do you think, you played a lot of different LRGs, but you said this was the first one you did in one day of Survivor at least. So why do you think your strategy of kind of how you play the game was so effective in this game?
Honestly, a lot of the games that I've played that have been longer term, even if I make it to Final Tribal, I have a really bad memory. So sometimes I can't even remember the moves I did on the second or third day. So that's one positive. And then also, I feel like since everyone was still warming up to each other in the beginning, but then we all just had to start being super social, that also helped a lot.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, definitely came on strong late, but you definitely deserved the win. So question from someone when I asked on our Instagram if anyone had any questions, someone said, what did you buy John with the winning money, if you did?
Probably some gas station snacks. We went out to the bar after. I bought drinks for us. Rent.
There you go. So my last question for you for now is, what do you think? Now, you probably said in the Final Tribal Council, but what do you think was your best move of the game for you, throughout the whole thing that kind of got you to win that game?
Oh man, Final Tribal again. I would say I didn't have necessarily a big flashy move with a power. I think it was kind of just being able to jump from working with certain people when I needed to, and kind of not. I mean, my default being comfortable with just to do the moves that John wanted to do, but instead of that, I was kind of doing the opposite. Because even some of the votes that I knew what was going to happen, he didn't. So I feel like it was just doing little things like that, helping preserve myself to make sure I got to the end.
Yeah, definitely worked out well for you. So Rebecca, second place finisher. Couple of things for you. So obviously, a big theme throughout the season, film, was you were so worried about not getting any votes at the Final Tribal Council. And it seemed like going into Final Tribal Council, a lot of people were ready to hand you the win. Why do you think so many people thought you had such a poor Final Tribal Council performance? I know you said, I can't sell my game good, but why do you think it went that way?
Okay, so part of it was I had no idea what actually happened. Everything was just such a blur afterward, coming to Final Tribal, that I just didn't know what to talk about. Oh, thank you, Ben. Yeah, I just didn't know what to talk about, and I also felt a lot of that's kind of fun. I'm distracted by the chat. I have to not get distracted. I also felt I don't even watching the season back, I was not as high on my game as other people were, and I don't even mean that to be self-deprecating, even though it totally sounds that way. I think I just didn't know how to talk about a super instinctive game, which I kind of just did whatever I felt like doing, even if I didn't have a reason for it. So I think that was really difficult to defend. I also just am rambly and was probably low on my confidence anyway. So yeah, I just, my takeaway upon reflecting post finale is that I think something that I was saying was we can just decide that Taylor and John are not threats. But I kind of think that everyone kind of decided that I was a threat, and I don't feel like I did a ton to deserve that. I think I just kind of survived. Like I had the idol play and then was saved again when Tyler did the steal a vote. And then afterwards it was like I had survived the votes twice and thus was like a threat for surviving the votes when I don't feel like I saved myself once and I didn't feel like I saved myself multiple times. So I just felt like I had a hard time like articulating that and not I'm rambling again, but
No, you're not.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, so that idol play at the beginning of the merge, what kind of made you like last second kind of shift to Taylor and Tyler and be like, I want to do this. I want to switch the votes on to you. What made you kind of go that way? Was that like, this is our way to kind of gain some power in the game, or was it just kind of like, might as well use my idol to get somebody out on the other side?
Yeah, because John had like come up to me and Taylor and Tyler, and so oh my god, thank you. I think John came up to us and said that they were trying to go for the person who they thought had the idol, and so I figured it would be just easiest if I came clean about it and said that I had the idol and we could do something about it. Yeah.
Well, it worked out pretty damn well. Speaking of idol plays, Kira, Miss Idol Queen herself, finding 2 idols. First one, she didn't necessarily need to play. Zach went home either way. But then the second one, saved one of her biggest allies, Ben. Got the rival Natalie out, which we'll talk about later. But kind of looking back at everything with watching and kind of how your idol plays went and your game overall, is there anything you'd really wish you would have changed necessarily?
Yeah, I wish I would have been aligned with Rebecca. Idol Queens. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of things I'd change. That's just one of them. I want to say I'm sad here. I don't know if sad's the right word, but like hearing Rebecca that you said, like watching back, you're like, oh, I don't know why people were high on me, because I had the total opposite. Like watching it back, I'm like, Rebecca is fucking killing it. Like, and I guess I almost wish that could have been like articulated better in the moment, but I was like so proud of you watching it back. So
Thank you.
What would I have changed? I think I wish there could have been more secrecy with the idols. I guess it was just like in the moment I saw them and I couldn't resist it, I guess. I mean, the second one I was very much on the line, so I felt like, well, I'm already on the line, so I might as well just grab it, you know. And it was definitely hidden in a place that was designed to be like, someone's gonna see you get this. The first one I probably could have let it pass me by and not been seen grabbing it. That's something I might have changed. I really didn't see myself as the kind of player that would be like finding idols. I saw myself as more of like a low-key person. So those were just things that happened in the moment, not how I planned to play. So maybe if I could have played more like I thought I would, things would have been a little bit different. But I'm glad that it was fun and entertaining. So
Tyler, with stealing Kira's vote at the final 7, did you think like at that moment she was the best player with those idol plays, or was there more than just the idol plays that made you want to get her out, you know, with your alliance there at 7?
I think it was both that she was a great player and had a lot of win equity, and just the fact that it made sense for me numbers wise, just because at that point it still seemed like it was tribe versus tribe. And so making the move made probably the most sense for me. Interesting tidbit about it, though, was had Ben not won the immunity, I think I probably would have gone after Ben instead. Boo hiss, tomato, tomato. But yeah, no, it was purely just respect for a great game. And obviously I found the steal a vote. The numbers were the way they were, and I wanted to do something, and I wanted to do something fun with it. And seemed like the biggest threat on the board that was open to take out.
Yeah, dude, it was. I voted for play of the season or move of the season, but we'll see if it wins later on when I reveal some of the award winners. But so we're gonna take a little trip back to earlier in the game. There's not too many players from the pre-merge here. There is one, Atticus, who had the showdown with Will. That was some of the best content of the season. Obviously, when people watch this back, they're going to be thinking of the little, not brawl, but little showdown between you and Will. So I'm not sure if you watched it, but regardless, Atticus, I mean, you stayed throughout the whole day, which was awesome. What are some of your thoughts kind of on that, how that went down? And what would you have done differently, like looking back at it, maybe to help you make it further in the game, besides maybe just not be on the same tribe as Will?
Yeah, I think for starters, being on the same tribe as Will did not go the way that I wanted to. Even during like preseason when we were all talking, me and Will didn't really talk much, so there just weren't a lot of vibes. I knew he was going to be a sneaky player during like the first tribal when the other tribe was going to tribal. We were talking about like, oh, who might be the first to go? And Will's just laying down every single strategy that they might be going with. And I was like, I cannot work with this man. Like, he's too sneaky. He knows the game in and out. I'm a sneaky player too, I think, with the same mindset. So maybe in hindsight, I should have worked with Will at least until merge. I think going against him right off the bat was probably not my greatest move.
So it seemed like you kind of thought you had that 4. So it was with Tyler, Rebecca, and Natalie, you thought, right?
That is what I thought, yeah.
Well, if any one of you three want to talk, what kind of made you shift to kind of turn on Atticus there? Was it just the challenge where he didn't get the sandbag, or was it kind of like we got to pick between him and Will might be a bigger shield right now just due to his personality and how he's kind of acting?
I don't think it was the challenge performance at all. I think early on in a game of Survivor, it's so scary, especially the first time a tribe chose the tribal council, because there's really so little to go off of. Like, I mean, it being a one-day game, we had only known each other for probably 40 minutes, an hour at that point, and so really nothing to go off of. And so I think what I was trying to do during that round was just kind of lay low and see if something blows up, and if something blows up, just kind of run it over with the bus. And so that was kind of where the mindset came from for me. I definitely go into more of like a survival instinct mode, especially early on, because it's like you can never win the game within those first like 3 or 4 rounds, but you can definitely lose it.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. So like,
Go ahead. Yeah.
From what Tyler said, because we had nothing to go off, I feel like I had to use the challenge to kind of base my opinions on that, because Will and Atticus were, digging in the sand, and it never really got past that because the whole other team was already doing their puzzle by the time Atticus and Will found the things in the sand. And then it was just down to those two. And I'm just like, who do I think? Because I knew someone was probably going to have to come back during when we got merged. So I'm just like, okay, who do I think has the possibility low-key to get back? And Will kind of showed himself to be a really strong, I don't know, he kind of scared me. I didn't want to get on his bad side. So I'm just like, I'm so sorry, Atticus, I had to throw you under the bus. And it was so bad. Oh, but yeah.
I totally respect the move. I came in having won my previous LRG. I came in knowing that I was a smart, strategic player. You guys made a good move getting me out.
You think, Atticus, you wanted to ride with those 4? Or is it just like too hard to say, since it was so early?
Did. At the time, I wanted to ride with them at least till merge. I knew that I would have Kira and Amaris if I made it to the merge, because I know them outside the game. I also know Annika outside the game, but at that point, she's already gone. So I thought that I was in a good position if I made the merge.
Yeah. What could have been? Hey, what could have been? Maybe we'll see in the future. Who knows? So, Maddie, 3rd place. I think you had arguably the best final tribal council, like selling yourself, speaking very wellly. I think John V said in his jury vote, I wish Rebecca had Maddie's confidence in that tribal. So watching it back, you did try there, but why do you think you didn't get more votes, I guess, to win? I know perception's part of it, but why do you think people didn't think you were a deserving winner?
That's a fair question. I think a big reason was probably that I didn't have big enough moves. Like both Rebecca and Taylor had big like idol plays, or like Taylor found the super idol. I guess I don't know. I haven't thought about why I didn't get as many votes as them, but they both played awesome games and they killed it. It's very deserving. So, yeah, that's all I got.
So another big part of your game was two things: was the girl lines getting brought to you early on in the merge, and then you smartly kind of being like, I'm down for that, but I don't trust you guys. So you wanted to build trust with the girls. So you waited till the perfect timing to do that, the final 6. But do you honestly think that turning on Ben there instead of trying to go to Rocks, do you think if you roll with Ben and John maybe longer, you think you have a better chance to win, or do you think maybe it still goes the way it goes?
Definitely not. I think both Ben and John played really like vocal, like very front of mind games. Like it was definitely my best interest to switch that. And also like truly if I would have gone to the end with Ben and John, like my only final tribal council would be like, I'm loyal. I had like nothing else really going for me. So I think like my strategic like social navigating was like a big part of my game, but it was definitely the like biggest chunk of my game too. So less visible, but no, I don't think I would have. I think it would have gone the same way if I went with Ben and John.
It's tough. I mean, I think you played an impressive game still. It's just, yeah, it's tough sitting next to them too, I guess. So I want to touch on now some of the awards. So there's like 10 different things people could vote for. I'll reveal 5 of them right now. So, first up, was a vote for who was the most chaotic. It came down to 2 people, 2 guys that like being teachers. But ultimately, I think huge news had to get the win on that one. Yes. So Ben did win over John B.
I'm shocked.
Not
I'm floored. I'm honored. I'm feeling lots of emotions. Thank you.
So why did you play so chaotically? Did you think you had to, or just you're like, let's have some fun, let's just switch this game upside down, or what?
It's a great question. It's definitely more so the latter. Like I have expressed this many times. I objectively have never had this much fun playing any sort of like Survivor game online, in person, whatever. Like I've not had this much fun ever, and it's not even a question. I think I hit a point where I felt like I played really strong in the first half of the season, and then like right away at the merge, my game like fell apart, and I recognized like, okay, my chances of winning at this point are pretty low. If I can make it playing like this, it will be the most epic, incredible, funny thing of all time. So I'm just gonna try, and if it doesn't work, I at least have like a blast, which I did. So that's why I played so chaotic. I was strategically outfoxed by multiple people multiple times. So I thought, well, if I'm not going to be the best player, let me at least be the most fun. So that was my mindset.
Okay, that's fair. Now we're shifting gears to most calm. It was between 2 people that started on the Vuku tribe together, not Booley, not you, Ben. It was between Tyler and Taylor, but ultimately our winner gets another award. So Taylor, she won for most calm, I think. I think it's pretty close between you 2, but I think Taylor so composed the entire game, and I think that's why she won, honestly. So congrats, Taylor.
Thank you.
So I remember too, Taylor, in your little video I had everybody send to me, you said, I know I'm quiet, but I'm going to use it to my advantage. So why do you think that works so well for you? Just because when you're loud and proud like John and Ben, it's going to paint a target on you? Is that why, or what?
Yeah, I think in the past, like since I've played multiple games at this point, some people think that like in their confessionals, they're like, oh, I think she's acting like that as part of her strategy. And I'm really not. Like that's just how I am most of the time. So I think I stand out a little bit in challenges. So I feel like me being socially like quiet and approachable one-on-one kind of helps like balance it out a little bit, because if I'm super loud and chaotic and in your face, and then also like if I'm doing good at challenges, that's like 2 reasons to target me. So I kind of just tried to fade a little bit into the background, but not too much. But I always just gotta keep it cool.
I think it worked well in your favor. So next up, biggest liar. Came down to between two guys. It came down between Tyler and John V. But I think ultimately what might have swayed people was that first little third of the finale. And John V, you were voted the biggest liar, Mr. Villain of the Year, Mr. Idol is expired.
How not Ben? I voted for Ben for every category. Like, Ben is the biggest liar, bro. I thought he was a teacher this whole time.
Bro, that's the only lie I told the entire time.
That was the greatest lie.
We ignoring the fact that this motherfucker Tyler lied to all of us the whole season.
You definitely did. You definitely did.
John, so
Well, you too, John. You voted for me.
You know, I wrote Ben.
Going with that, John, with lying, why do you – I know you kind of just wanted to have some fun, but you did the solo vote on Zach. You kind of switched on your lines voting Ben, but then you switched back. So is that more kind of like let's throw that on Maris, which ended up kind of working because you guys all went for it? Was that kind of your strategy to kind of just throw someone under the bus for some of the little random things you're doing to kind of throw people off?
So for me, I never wanted to switch on Ben or Zach. So both of those votes were both strategic. The Zach one was, I'm going to throw this shit on Will. Maddie already had a vote, so it could have been any one of us who voted for Maddie. Maybe we didn't know where the votes were going to go. We threw a vote. But I'm like, Will could have had still a vote. I'm like, yo, Will is a snake. So let me throw that at Zach, make him a little paranoid. I wanted to see where that would go. But I would never vote Zach out. And then when it came to Ben, it was like, I know Kira's going to play the idol on him. I'm going to just put Ben's name anyway. And then Kira even asked me during that tribal, do you want me to save him? And I was like, yeah, save him. So it was me doing little things to kind of look like I'm switching sides. I'm being, a Benedict Arnold. It's just me fucking around and just trying to keep my line safe, but still have like conversation with the other side, even though I know I'm gunning for Tyler, Rebecca, and Taylor the whole time.
Fair enough. There you go. Definitely was entertaining, dude. I'm glad we had you on. So let's shift to best duo. It was a really close vote. It came down to one vote. It was between John V and Ben, #FTK, and Tyler and Rebecca, actually, who I think was already a duo. I think this season had a lot of duos. Seemed like John V had a lot of them. Seemed like Ben might have had a couple of them too. But ultimately, Tyler and Rebecca, I thought were maybe going to win because they made it the furthest together in the game. But I think #FTK was too much, as the best duo was voted John V and Ben, even with John V voting for it.
For the
Yes.
kids. For the kids. Education.
For the kids, bro. Hey, it worked.
Yeah, what did you think when whenever Ben revealed to you he wasn't a teacher? What was your thoughts on that?
So when I got voted out the game, we had jury. He said, bro, I'm really not a teacher. It's crazy because I was going to have a conversation with him randomly and ask him about the curriculum. And he was like, I would have been cooked. I wouldn't know what to say. And I think it's crazy, Ben. You're so chaotic watching back, but in person, you were like the calmest person to me. I don't know what the fuck. I had teacher eyes or some shit.
Blinders on.
I was like, yo, Ben is mad cool, chill, watching his back. Who's this dude running around? So, yeah. Yeah, good shit, bro.
Yes, bro. Matt. Okay, look at Maddie's comment too. I was like, okay, so I had this plan to just like I feel like because I've like worked with kids before, like over the summer, like it's like I worked at summer camp, and so I felt like I had enough stories to tell that it like could be believable. But then like right away I had to like fully commit to the bit because Maddie started asking me like all about education and stuff. And I was praying that like someone wouldn't ask me a question. Like, and when John said he was a teacher too, I was like, fuck, like I might be cooked right away because I knew he was going to start asking me some like actual questions, but it worked. It worked. My plan was if I made it to the end to like do some kind of spin on like, I know Tyler, I know you clocked it. I want to hear what you have to say after, but I was with some spin on like, this game's all about managing your perception, blah, 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 and then talk about that. But obviously didn't get the chance, but Tyler, go ahead.
Yeah, no. So I just wanted to point out like a funny moment when we were at the merge feast, all eating Culvers and stuff. That was the first time I had met Ben, and I think I sat right next to him, and he told me he kind of told everybody that he was a teacher. And for a second I chuckled a little bit because I thought like I don't know if I thought he was lying or what, but something was off. Like I just did not. I was like maybe he's lying about being a teacher, but because I know a lot of people in the real show have lied, said they're teachers when they're actually like a lawyer or something like that, and so I thought Ben was trying to pull something like sneaky at first, but then I was like, wait, no, he's probably who would lie about their job in Survivor Wisconsin? Like he's telling the truth. So I decided to buy in at that point. But then I was like, yeah, it kind of did make sense. Like I don't know, something about Ben just doesn't give teacher for me.
I love it.
Yeah, it was a great duo. I mean, just that alone in the first episode, because like for me, I'm hosting, I'm running around. I don't see all this behind footage. I don't see what the guys in production are recording. So just seeing all the moments of them shaking the hands for the kids, and then that it happens again, like way down the road later in the game. It was great. It was great. Pure entertainment without even trying, I feel like. So last vote that we'll reveal for now is best rivalry.
Devin. One more thing. I think also Ben really good at selling. Every time we were at the bottom of the vote, he would look at me and be like, yo, for the kids. For the kids. That was the most fun. I was like, this guy would never vote for me. Yeah, that's my life.
Yeah, bro. I was locked in.
Going over to that best rivalry, do I even need to really say who finished second? Come on. It's Ben and Natalie, of course. Yeah, I know we're voting for each other. First off, since we've been talking to Ben a lot, which I get why he stole the show in a lot of ways, I want to hear Natalie's perspective because it seemed like in that first merge round, Natalie kind of confronted Ben like, you know, you got a name you want to throw out, kind of felt like set the tone a little bit, and then Ben just came hard at her like the rest of the time. What was your perspective on this rivalry between Ben and you, and did you even want it to turn into that?
Did I want it to turn into that? No. But once I heard my name in his mouth, it did. Because I was just like, oh, hell no. I'm going as hard as I can to get this dude out of here. And I'm mainly stuck with the girls and Tyler, honorary girl to me. But I couldn't deal. And low-key, I kind of spiraled away a bit. But yeah, it was just, I don't know. Right when I heard, oh, Ben's putting your name out, that's when I started going a little hard towards him, basically.
Ben, rebuttal?
Yeah, I mean, I can't blame her. I mean, for me, when we got to the merge, and I was like, all right, this seems like it's gonna be like a tribe versus tribe thing. Immediately, I was in this big group conversation that Natalie was in, and the way she was talking, I was like, oh shit, this motherfucker's thinking. She's like, I could tell you were good. You clearly were very charismatic. And I was like, yeah, and because we're on opposite sides, this is just an issue. This just needs to be out of the game for me because there's no way I'm a strong personality. I feel like you are too. And so it was there's no way that the game was big enough for both of us. So it was inevitable. It was going to be one of us. But then we had a lovely conversation afterwards. So it's all love and it was wonderful entertainment. So it's all love between me and Natalie.
It wasn't even your name at first that I was talking about because I'm so sorry, Kira. I don't know if the vibes were just off, but I could not trust you for a second. I'm like, I want the girls to stick together, but her for some reason. I just couldn't. I don't know.
Is it because you knew she would addle you out, if they lost?
It wasn't synced. I don't know why. And I love you. I feel so bad, but I don't know what went on.
It's actually, this is all I'm going to say about it. It's so funny to me because in episode 1, I'm like, Maddie, don't let them vote out Annika. Keep the girls in. I was saying that from the start. But, it is what it is.
I think it's because I saw you talking to Ben a lot. I'm just like, I know I don't trust him, and I don't trust you now. So that's it.
So going off that, Natalie, with the Girls Alliance that you wanted so badly, you left Kira out for whatever reason. You still don't know why. I know you kind of said it at the final tribal council, but how would it feel to see at the end of the day a Girls Alliance at the very end of the game actually did make it through?
That felt so good because I don't know if my confessional came out. I have not seen the episode. I got voted out because I knew I was going to get too heated. So I was just, I'm just like, I wonder what I said. But I remember, I was just like, just watch. None of them girls are going to get up there. I am so pissed because none of us could have stuck together. I was just like, but then when I saw that it was Becca, Maddie, and Taylor, I was like, mwah, chef's kiss. That's beautiful. That's what I wanted. Even though I'm not there, I was so ecstatic, so happy.
But guess what? I wasn't sitting next to you like you said.
No. But you're right behind me.
Not too much later, though.
Right behind me.
Not too much later.
Not too much.
Now that you got to watch it, straight comedy.
Yeah, definitely Ben was coming harder at Natalie than Natalie was at Ben, but it is what it is. So Christian looks like he has a question in the chat. He's saying people who made the merge. So like you guys that made the merge, who did you think that like didn't make the merge that you wish you had a chance to work with? I know Zach said he wished Will. I mean, it was only really Will, Annika, and Atticus. So if anyone wants to share like who they wish they would have worked with, I know Kira and Atticus knew each other beforehand. Besides that, I don't know if there's any other connection really though. So if anyone wants to jump in.
I can't even answer this because of the
all
friends.
three of them you knew.
And I don't think I would have wanted Will in the game, to be honest. Like he's a big character, you know. So I definitely would have wanted Atticus in the game. But
I wanted to work with Will,
Or
but at
Annika.
the same time, I was like kind of scared of him. But I thought he would always be someone that was looked at before me, so I did want to work with him real bad.
I second what Taylor said. I was like, yeah, Will's fun, but like, do we really want him around at the merge? Like, is this going to be a detriment to our games?
I wanted him around to be merge boot.
Could you imagine?
Like, I think I was like in favor of Will over Atticus because I thought Will would be merge boot.
Yeah, I could see that.
I can
some
see
of the
that.
stuff that went down. Just imagine Will in that. I mean, come on.
Now, I wish Will would lasted longer because I just had a feeling as long as he stood around, I could have stood around. And I think everybody would have had us like trying to go against each other. We could have even made a fake rivalry. That kind of would have been like a good side story.
Yeah, I feel like you really had a feeling he was going to win. Hey, that you were trying to let him know, like, hey, I got you if you come back, kind of thing. You guys were all kind of saying that, but I mean, who knows if that would have really happened if he came back. We got another question in the comments here. Who's been hyping you up the entire time, Taylor? So how did you switch up your winning strategy for a one-day game? And then did you think it was harder doing our one-day game or the other LRG multi-day games you've done?
Oh, that's a good question. I feel like I said in the beginning, I just have a really bad memory. So although in longer games I have made it to the end in like a 5-day game, a 4-day game, I just think sometimes it's so hard for me to remember what I did. Also, I'm not like a huge Survivor fan. I've seen a little bit, but sometimes it's hard for me to kind of picture what people are like the right thing to say. So I feel like in a one-day game, since we all had to play so hard so fast, it made it a little bit easier because I didn't have to like try to find the right pacing. And as far as like which one was harder, I feel like each game is different and like there's certain things that are harder about each game. Like obviously it wasn't the elements, it wasn't putting me like, oh, I'm having trouble sleeping and I'm not eating, so that's affecting my like mental. So it wasn't hard in that aspect, but it was hard to just dive in socially super fast because I am pretty introverted, I'd say, at first. So I think it was just a whole different type of game. Hard for its own reasons, but I wouldn't say one or the other is hard.
All right, so I think it's been a little bit quiet in freaking Funky Town. What is going on, Zach? How are you doing? Looking back at this season and just getting the ultimate three votes to your name at the beginning of the merge, what do you wish you could have changed if you had, besides Rebecca maybe not playing her idol for herself?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like, see, I said it in the chat, but like, no shade. Like, I'm kind of like, why is like most common award, but like most robbed isn't? Because I feel like I would get that, you know, and that's just me being biased and selfish. But no, but because that's like, I don't know. The awards are fun and interesting, but yeah, I don't know. That should be an award anyway.
That short of your extended get exit interview wasn't enough for you.
To compensate for most robbed, yeah, sure. But I don't know. Like I say that because I feel like I was doing all the things. Like even if it wasn't so genuine on John's part, like I had like kind of I was trying to kind of do a little duel with him. I wasn't like planning, like I wasn't watering it the best as I could because it's kind of hard to like get to all your soldiers in a game where there's like 5 minutes between each event. But like I mean, I had the 3 with Ben and Maddie surviving. I really wanted to get with Kira, but I just never had a chance to. And then I had a potential thing that was gonna happen maybe with Tyler and Taylor, but like with John, I didn't like pound that in enough. But like, I mean, I just feel like I got the shortest end of the stick in the game. Like besides the Maris, who got screwed with Exile. Because I mean, like Ben won immunity. They confirmed that if Ben didn't, like Tyler said that if Ben didn't get immunity, it was going to be Ben that was the target. And then John already had the connections with Taylor and other like Natalie, and I don't know if he had other people, but so it's like, and then they were like throwing that like girl sentiment. So it's kind of like I don't know. It was kind of like let's jump Zach. That's what it was. And I mean, I don't know. And Idol is like I mean, I don't know. I don't know because I feel like I got like I went to confessional when Kira found her idol, so I didn't have a chance to find that. And like just I don't know, like good on people finding the advantages, the other ones like the fucking steal a vote and Kira finding another fucking idol and like just I like that advantage shit. Just I mean, I was just like seeing them pop up, and I'm like, what is this like popping up like cavities like in a kid that eats candy all day like. I don't know, but yeah, I don't like. I really just, I don't know. I just felt like I had so much more to give, and then it was just like, and it was so sad because once the idols were played, I was like, yeah, I knew it was me, and I don't know. I wish I could have like, because everyone's saying like the blah 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 about like stuff like Final 7 and everything. And I was trying to like really laser in from the jury bench, but it's kind of hard to like fully comprehend because like the game I feel like started right after I was out. Like it's kind of like I feel like that like Rebecca when she made her big move, it was like that kind of like kick-started the actual game. Before that, I feel like because I mean you were there for all of our tribal councils. It was just like, okay, we're gonna jump the one person majority. So like I don't know. But I had fun still. I mean, but like I also said in the comment, I wish I was able to go to the Culver's thing because I feel like at one point or another, I think like maybe Rebecca or other people had mentioned that was kind of good for like getting to actually talk with people. I ended up with Maddie and Rebecca in the end, and that could have been something that helped initiate that for them. So yeah, I don't know. It's a lot of just kind of like wishing what could have been. No pun intended, Ben. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just happy for it. It's more like I feel like I was more of a, sadly, like more of a cheerleader because it's like the game didn't really happen for when I was there. But I don't know. I don't know. It's fun. It's funky. It's fresh.
So, as Zach called them, the Snake Sisters, which was Rebecca and Natalie. What was your guys' reasoning for kind of going for Zach there? I know, Rebecca, you didn't vote for Zach. You wanted him out, though. And then what was kind of the thought process why the target was Zach to go for there? If there was one.
Natalie was telling me it was Zach and Kira were so close. And
whose dog is that?
What? Keep him mute.
Anybody else hear that dog?
I'm so confused. Wait, I can't hear Rebecca. Am I the only one?
Rebecca?
I can't hear shit.
Can you hear me now? I just unplugged my headphones. Okay.
Yeah, Natalie was saying Zach and Kira are so close, so Kira doesn't want to do a girls' alliance because she want to keep
Natalie, can you own up
I
to
was
that
like,
lie? Where did that come from?
so we go down that.
Second, I don't know why. I really did not have. I knew you had John and Ben's back, so I'm just like, there's no way this girl is gonna keep the girls' alliance. So yeah, that's true. I did say that.
It sucks for Zach because I feel like
Girl.
Zach and I are both like, oh, I wish we got close and like wish we got to play together. And I'm not going to get into it, but in the pre-merge, there's a scene that we were talking about some very like personal life things, and that situation made me like. Zach's already very cool, but that scene made me feel like connected to him. But we had not connected like strategically in the game, so it feels so sad hearing that.
No, because I'm like, if that like really was part of it, that like. That's kind of like crazy. Wow. I mean, but no, I'm honestly envious because I wish I had been a little more aggressive. That's honestly a big like lesson I learned through the game is that if anything, even though I was like blah blah blah, like got screwed by whatever, like I mean, it's not Friendship Island, you know, it's like Survivor. So it's like big kudos to, even if that was some bullshit. Like you gotta plant the bullshit. So it's like, and I think Natalie had good potential, you know, if she didn't get idled out. So that's that. I think that tracks.
I want to add something too real quick about that round. I know my original plan going into that round, I know Rebecca's name was the main one out there, and I was honestly like heavily considering going that way until at the very end that she was like, oh, I have an idol, and I was like, oh. So because I know I was partners with Zach for that like partner challenge, and so like when you did throw out something about working with me and Tyler, I did mean it, and I wasn't like immediately just like, oh yeah, I want to work with you, and then I wasn't trying to go for you right away. It was mostly because at the last second when Rebecca had the idol, that was just the only other name that was like out there, so it was just something to latch on to.
Yeah, totally got. And like I was playing too scared with the names too. Like, I mean, and like honestly, I was so because when I don't know if it was recorded, but when I first heard Rebecca's name, it was from Tyler when we were like first walking into Tribal Council. And I don't know why I didn't think more about that, but since it was also last minute, I'm just like, okay, that's the name, whatever. But I don't know who I would have done. Like, I think it was like Natalie's name was also out there.
I was throwing Natalie's name.
Yeah. So I mean, maybe you should have went that, but. Like, I mean, I don't know why I had no idea about that, about the Tyler saying the Rebecca with the vote. Like, that was so, like, genius, like, on Tyler and Rebecca's end.
I did not want to vote for you, Zach. I thought you were a sweetheart, but I don't remember who I was originally trying to gun for. And then, like, I just knew the votes weren't there. I'm just like,
it was probably Kira.
Yeah. Oh, probably Kira, honestly. I'm just like, the votes aren't there. I'm going to have to vote for you.
Wasn't it Rebecca?
Oh no, I love Becca. I would never vote for her. Even when she told me, she was literally sitting right next to me. She's like, I'm playing idol. I'm like, okay. Not even really thinking about it. I'm just like, this girl ain't got an idol. She did have an idol. When she popped that up, I was surprised. I don't know if you remember my face. I was like, what? No, that was for real. I was like, this girl, like, I love her so much. Like, I did not know she was really gonna play that. I didn't know people were gunning for her.
I wish they got that on camera, her finding the idol, because I don't think they did in the episodes.
Anyway,
so it's kind of like an Amanda Kimmel idol, you know?
But like it was just a surprise. So like when you got voted out, I felt so bad. I did vote for you, but I don't know. It was probably Kira I was gunning for. So don't think I was gonna put your name originally. It was probably
it was circumstances.
Maddie's back.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Maddie.
She is unfrozen from the kryptonite.
I have another thing to add. I have another thing to add about that vote. So I like did not remember this until after I woke up the next morning, hence why I did not bring it up in my jury speech. But I actually had some reasoning behind like exposing Zach for saying that Kira had an idol, which is like he whispered it to me right as I was being like right before I was talked to. And then he said, like, do you care to share? And I was kind of like, part of me was like, okay, fuck it, we ball. Why not? I'm playing my idol anyway. But I was also like, why is like Natalie so like set on Kira? I don't want it to be Kira. I think that's stupid. So if Kira has an idol, then maybe either A, she plays it and is safe, or B, they don't vote for Kira. So
straight up.
That's a fair reasoning for sure.
So by exposing you, I was trying to save you.
Rebecca, I got a question for you.
Like, I feel like you voted for me and you were like, I don't want to. And then, like, I never really wanted to vote for you either. I'm like,
Yeah. And then
this whole thing is
Natalie was like whispering to me even afterwards, we're voting for Kira. And I was like, okay, fine, we're voting for Kira, I guess.
No, I remember.
Yeah.
Natalie
What
was
could have been
speaking
TBH?
for-
But what's interesting, I have a question for Zach.
Oh, go ahead.
Did you know the votes were potentially on you when you told her that I had an idol?
Yeah, because Natalie had told me that my name was out there when I was in like a little, like kind of like it was right before I was told the Rebecca thing. It was like sequential. So that's when like
crazy.
that, because I was just like, it just was kind of so fast. Everything was so fast moving. And I'd had like a really steady, like kind of like like game with like majority.
Yeah.
Little nice little 3 close alliance, nice little comfortable duo. Like, and it was just kind of like all of a sudden the game was just going to shit. Like, you know, I heard my name from Natalie, then it's Rebecca. After I'd only heard Natalie, which when Natalie told me my name, I knew her name was out there, but I didn't say anything because I was just not trying to like rat or anything. So I was just kind of like, oh yeah, I was like, dang, wow. Who did you hear that from? And then it was so funny. She like turns around and she's like trying to figure out who she's gonna throw under the bus of like, she's like, like I heard it from, and I'm like, yeah. So I don't know why I didn't do more about that. I should have pulled a Ben and been a little more chaotic, you know.
Right.
But you know, it's like should have, would have, could have. But the actual answer to your question, I kind of had an idea that my name was out there, so I was trying to like. But I hadn't really got to talk to Rebecca and them. And also I had zero idea that this like pro-woman sentiment was going to be a thing. Like I had absolutely no idea. So like just jump into my shoes. I know nothing about this John Taylor thing. I know nothing about like the pro-woman sentiment. So I'm kind of like, you know, I haven't got to talk to Natalie and Rebecca during this round. So I'm like, oh, like I need to like, I don't know, talk to them so maybe they can feel somewhat secure with me. But I was doing retrospectively, that was some overplaying. And that's why I could understand like John's somewhat harsh voting confessional against me when he was like, oh, this guy's sporadic. So yeah, I was kind of just like trying to cover bases, too many bases. And it just, I mean, I didn't know Rebecca was out here playing for fun. So like, I was kind of like, oh, so I mean, it makes sense in like retrospect. Like this girl, she's just trying to, you know, start some, you know, like because it was kind of a drag, you know, if you saw our tribal council. So you know, I don't blame you.
I'm gonna get back to Zach in a second. I just want to touch on a few things with Rebecca real quick because I know she's got to leave shortly. One key thing I wanted to ask Rebecca more about, and we'll get back to the Zach attack, Funky Town himself. But Rebecca, so. Why did you feel like your relationship with Tyler was so important, like throughout the whole game? Because you guys got second for the best duo according to everyone voting. So why was that such a key part for your game? And then Tyler, you can kind of respond to that too.
I don't know. I think we just like got along well, and it worked out. Hi, Richie. Thank you for that. I think we just like vibed, I guess. And then come merge, I think. We like were coming from the same original tribe. We knew that Taylor and John had their relationship, so I think we knew that we kind of had to be closer to each other. And then Natalie got voted out quickly, so I think we just thought similarly and also had like motivation to like to work together well.
Yeah, totally. I echo all those sentiments. Yeah, I don't know. I think in my games, I tend to like align better with people that are like picking up exactly what I'm putting down, where our morals in the game and our strategies are kind of more so going the same direction. That's somebody who I can latch onto and not lie to, and kind of like obviously Survivor's a numbers game. You need people around you that are going to be voting the same way as you. And so, yeah, it just worked out, and had nothing to do with the fact that we had previously interviewed during Survivor SPF, which never occurred to me until later in the game. Kind of crazy, but yeah, no, it was very fun to work with you.
Yeah, my number one regret in the game was not recognizing Tyler immediately. It took me hours, and we had literally spoken.
Well, it seemed like it worked well together though, without even knowing him for so long. So, all right, so I think we got to kind of get back to the Zach attack because I don't think we resolved it. We're getting some crazy comments here. Kind of a big one from Christian saying this guy's not real. What do you have to say to that?
You know, he might be right. Yeah. It's just like, you know, like I think. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right. Oh, okay. No, I was trying to see if like I could fit like a word for every like, you know. Anyway, no, because I think what he means to say is robbed. I think that's what he meant to say. Yeah, that's all that I can think of in my head.
Zach, it's a damn pleasure having you on, sir. I feel like we were robbed of a lot of this little villain arc. Hopefully, maybe we'll see it in a different season or something, eh?
Yeah, it's crazy. Speaking on villains and heroes and all that, which I'm surprised there's not like a hero of the thing or a villain of the thing, because like, which I'm not saying those would be me. That I would love to vote for someone here to be that.
Who do you think is the biggest hero and villain of the season then?
From my like limited perspective, I mean, like maybe I don't know. I mean, like I think immediately my mind goes to John for villain, but hero. I mean, maybe Tyler, because like a lot of the jury was kind of like they were like, "Come on, Tyler, hold on!" Like when he was like had the one leg and he was like wobbling like the freaking like beach built on the sand, and we're like, no. But so maybe Tyler hero, but also he was like a huge lying snake, like. So I don't know if he'd be hero. Maybe Rebecca, because she just had the purest like, oh, I'm here to have fun, like But and then also I'm also biased. I think it could be Maddie, because I think Maddie like was like she was kind of like vocalizing.
You kind of clap back though. You kind of would clap back. She would kind of clap back though.
Who, Rebecca?
Maddie.
Maddie, but like she was like saying shit. She wasn't like running behind the scenes. Like I think that Maddie kind of like if she was turning, like say for example, like at the one tribal council where I think it was like her and John were having a little dispute. She was kind of like making it vocal, like, "Hey, this is where I stand." And I think that like where Tyler was kind of like seems innocent but is actually a devil. I think like Maddie kind of just has a smile and is more like you kind of see what you get. I don't know with her. I'd say like. I don't know if that necessarily means like hero, but like I don't know. I think it's just like kind of a more calming transparency. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people are in contention for a hero, but
I think you're right on that, honestly.
Yeah. You said something. Oh wait, no. Oh, for villains. Just like one other thing too. Usually, like when I'm playing this, and then why I said I was like, oh, Rob, is because. Like in the games I played before, I'm usually like super vocal. So when I like was sitting there, the face, Ben, like, and that's why I had to get in my like my lick in at the end of like, oh, Rebecca snake ass, because I just hadn't got to do any villain stuff like the whole game. So, yeah, like I wish I got to do like a little John V stand up in tribal council. I wish I got to do a little like, oh, Maddie, let me like figuratively smack you,
Wow,
like
really strong my ass.
It's getting hot out here.
No, not smacking Maddie like how Maddie was figuratively smacking some people at tribal council.
I got you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No. So, but usually I'm the villain. If you guys, I don't know if you guys can believe that, but yeah. So I don't know. Kudos to the villains. I love some good villains. I love some good, outliers. As one.
All right. So the next thing I want to touch on is everyone's biggest regret. Rebecca, you said your biggest regret you said was not really knowing Tyler. Is there anything else you want to add to that?
Probably having memories at Final Tribal. Like even when you gave us a few minutes to talk before, I was like, how did I get here? I sure wonder. Also, probably like having confidence in myself. Yeah.
Yeah, I think sounded like a lot of people thought you had it, but you're a pleasure having on, Rebecca. No award wins, unfortunately for you. You got close with Best Duo, and I think you finished third for Player of the Season. So it was really awesome having you on, though.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, it was great playing, great meeting all of you. I do have to drop. But this has been so fun. Bye.
All right, touching on that, like, what else was everyone's biggest regrets? I mean, obviously, Atticus could probably say getting the hell away from Will, but like everybody, kind of, what was your perspective watching it back, seeing it back? What your biggest regret was? I think John V's got one right away.
I got two, but I'm mad she just dropped. I think Rebecca, she's an anomaly. Like, I played so many games, probably like close to 20, like no cap. Rebecca has been the most honest, free-flowing person. Like, she really says, I want to go to Rocks. She really wants to do that. She has no agenda. And I've never seen anybody in the LRG community get that far with that type of gameplay. So definitely I should have worked with Rebecca. And my biggest nemesis, Maris. Like, me and Maris together, and we really Kira, I think we're going to the end, honestly. Like, I should have worked with Maris, but I don't think she would have ever trusted me ever because she knew of my reputation. So it was one of those things where my reputation, like, preceded me. Like, she didn't get to know me. She knew John V going into the year. But if she didn't know that, I think me and Maris could have did some damage together. And I wish we could have explored that. But I didn't even want to vote for her in the beginning. It was just where the numbers are going. I don't want to go against Ben or Zach. I knew Kira kind of knew of her, but Kira never said they knew each other, like, you know, like went to each other's house. She said something about they went to like Survivor watch parties. So I'm like, oh, okay, we could get rid of her. It's not going to really affect you. But I think if I knew more about their relationship, I would have fought harder for Maris. But she was like gun-ho for John V. I have no idea why.
She was. She did not want Bill in the year to get far. Maddie, what would you say your biggest regret was kind of in the game overall?
That's a good question. Hopefully I don't freeze here, but if I do, it's a bummer. My biggest regret, the first thing that comes to mind is not trying to like idol search more. Like, I was really trying to like steer clear of idols ASAP. Like, I wanted to know where they were, like John mentioned at one point, but I did not want to have one in my pocket at all. I think I said that in my confessional. So, but I think without it, it's hard to make a big move, especially as late in the game as I like tried to, kind of. So maybe that's my biggest regret.
Wow, you didn't freeze. Good job.
Yay!
No, I think you played a really good game. I think it's just tough standing next to those other two girls who I guess played a stronger game. So Natalie, what was your biggest regret? I guess getting involved with Ben or what?
I guess I got. Well, no, because I wanted the all girls alliance. I wanted girls to just make it.
Hey, girlie, come on.
Why'd you throw out Kira's name then, bro?
No real regrets. I thought when they voted me out, I'm just like, this shit's gonna fail. It's a boy that's gonna win. But when the final came on, I was at peace. I was happy, you know? And it was my first LRG, so I'm just like, whatever happened, happened. So I was just having a fun time. I was running on vibes. I don't know why my vibes weren't vibing with Kira. I wish. Okay, that's my regret. I feel like if I had a chance to talk to Kira more, we would have been chill. But the energy was off. I just couldn't get past. My eyes were directly on Kira the whole time. I wanted the girl out for some reason.
All girls alliance? Let's vote out Kira.
Alliance without one of the girls.
Best way
That's
to
why I got out.
target a girl.
It was the earth. It was the energy just taking me out.
Atticus, what was yours? Just Will drama, or was there more to it?
No, I don't regret voting for Will. I'd vote for him again. No, I have a couple regrets. I wish I had idol hunted right off the bat because that first tribal would have gone very differently. Obviously, Will would have gone out with one vote. That would have been cool. Second regret is the battle back challenge. I think I was the first one to actually complete the flip cup, but I chose not to bounce the ball. I was just throwing it. If I had just bounced it, I would have gotten it quicker. I would have been back in the game. So, well.
It's tough, man. I mean, I feel like it's tough in our games when they're like one day because it's so fast paced. Someone always just kind of screwed. Like obviously the pre-merge got screwed and Maris got really screwed, but I am glad she got a second chance of it. But
she deserved it too, especially with how it started. She deserved to get back in.
No, seriously. What would you say was yours, Kira?
Well, it's funny because I was thinking about this and then John started talking about it, but I kind of said this in my exit, but like I wish that I had some more confidence to figure out how, like, okay, when the majority is going on people that I don't want out, like Maris, I tried to kind of be, and Annika too, I tried to kind of be undercover and like slyly get things in to, you know, convince people not to vote for them. But I just don't think that I don't want to say didn't try as hard as I could have, because I think you do kind of have to be under the radar in some senses. But like knowing that there could have been some kind of like me, Maris, John, Ben kind of thing, like that would have been so sick. I think it could have been really fun. And when it came to Maris versus John, those were the two people left in the game that I was like, these are my, like, John's my like in-game number one, and then Maris is my like out of game friend. And I hated that the votes were like going against both of them. And I wish that I could have found a way, instead of just being like, vote John, you know, to like, how do we keep both of them and like keep this going? But they were ops. So that's probably the biggest one. It's like I wish that I like could have found a way to not vote for her in those scenarios.
Yeah. That's fair. Taylor, do you have a biggest regret? I mean, you won the game, so maybe not, but if there is anything that you regret.
I mean, I feel like I don't have something that like, oh man, I wish I did this instead, but there's some like scenarios that I've thought like, I wonder what would have been different if I did this. Like a couple times me and John were like talking about like, for example, at Final 6 when I had oh no, you had the necklace at 6, right?
Of course, girl.
Okay. But like if we had like a few more minutes to strategize, he was talking about like, okay, well, what if he put the necklace on me? Because then I have the super idol. So like if he had like some whole game plan, but then at tribal council, he puts the necklace on me.
I did it anyway. Yeah, it's okay.
And like we did something fun with the super idol. I feel like that's just something I thought about, but I guess I don't really have like something super specific other than maybe I wish I did a flashy move with that, but
yeah,
I don't know. I think it was how it ended up anyways. Like, yeah.
It was crazy that the super idol and idol nullifier didn't have any effect really in the game at all.
Yeah.
So do you and John, like when you guys are doing these allergies, do you guys always play the same ones, or do you guys still kind of do ones on your own?
Well, we met, the ones we've played together, like we met in our first game, so obviously we didn't know each other.
I beat her in all of those. Anyway, the same.
Okay. No, the next game we played, he got like 14th place, and I lost by one vote at Final Tribal.
Okay. Anyway, yeah. So like we
won
met playing these games. I always try to beat her. We never aligned.
Never aligned.
We never aligned ever because she always wants to do her own thing. I forgot the question.
We played a challenge game like as a ride or die pair, but
I think I played 17. You played 15. And
I played 14.
We played only 4 together, and 3 were Survivor, and one of them was it was like a ride or die challenge. So she was my partner, and I thought I was gonna win, and I didn't. So I wrote you for no reason. Like you didn't even give me a win.
Okay.
Anyway.
It would be cool to see each of you like on your own in our Survivor maybe down the line or something, but it's also pretty cool seeing you play together too.
First, boom, I'm coming after you.
I'm the most calm. I'm not going to be first.
All right, back to like most regrets. So, Tyler, what was your biggest regret from the game?
I've been thinking about this one. I think if I had to pick anything, I know I think a lot of people on the podcast were pointing to me voting out John V at 5. My thinking with that was John V probably has a good chance to beat me in the final challenge. And like I think Christian had said, there's no guarantee that he wants to bring me to the end. And so I think I did just try to put all of my cards into winning that final challenge. And like, if I win that, I could win the game. If I don't, we'll see what happens. But I think one of the conversations that I had that round, Final 4, with Taylor stood out to me watching it back. and that was when I kind of said, like, I don't care who I go into a tiebreaker against. I just kind of want to get through this. Had I known that Taylor was actually considering a little bit throwing me into a tie, my thinking might have changed a little bit, because I think with that round, my thinking was if anybody was going to save me that round, it probably would have been Rebecca, if anybody. Because Taylor had voted for me the previous round, and I could kind of get the sense that, like, the tides were shifting against me. And so I was like, Taylor probably doesn't want to actually save me. And so I don't know. I think I might have kind of made a heart, like, if I made a better push. Yeah, that's fair, Christian. No one was bringing me to the end. But I don't know. Trying to strong arm anything into a tie, I think, a little harder than I did even. That would probably be the one thing.
So, do a lot of you think that we're jury members here, that if Tyler did make it over Taylor, so I guess, Tyler, if you would have won that challenge over Taylor, do you think it would have been a 2-2 tie then between somebody? Because the girls, I'm assuming, probably would have still tried to vote together somewhat, but it's kind of like Taylor and Rebecca were together the longest, and then Maddie kind of came in there. So, but some of you guys didn't think Maddie was the strongest player, I guess.
I think had I won that, there was no way in hell I was giving up the necklace. Let's just get that clear right now. But I don't know. I think I still probably would have voted for Rebecca. And, like, obviously winning final immunity does give you a ton of power, because you kind of get a little more say than everyone. It's not like when you have, like, a final 2 and one person gets sole power, but you do have a lot more power than the people who are kind of vulnerable. And so, yeah, I think I probably still would have voted against Rebecca, just because in my mind at that point, she had probably the most clear resume and the biggest chance to kind of, like, run away with it at Final Tribal had she articulated that pretty well. And so, yeah, I think Rebecca probably would have been the target, and then Taylor obviously would have been pretty tough to beat, because I actually didn't know, I think, at that point about her relationship with Natalie too, pregame going in. There were a lot of just sneaky things that I didn't realize about Taylor going in, that made her way tougher to beat than I thought she was going to be. So
Mr. Quiet over there. So, Ben, what was your biggest regret?
Mr. Quiet, I'm gonna ride that one to the grave, guys. I think it's similar to what Kira said. Actually, it's the round where John and Maris went for each other, because something that a lot of people don't know is that I, not like as close as Kira, but I also had a pregame relationship with Maris, and simply due to the fact that I was positioned so well in our original tribe, I just couldn't, like, compromise my position to vote her off, or to not vote her off. But what I was just so, like, tweaked because I had just been saved by the idol, that I thought, like, okay, I'm just going to, like, somehow my name was not out. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to go with whatever the vote is and not complain here. What I should have done is stood up, looked at everyone and gone, do you guys know who's lying to everyone? Tyler, and made everyone, like, vote for Tyler or something. Like, do, like, something dumb like that, because, like, at that point I was already on borrowed time. But I was just so scared because I had just been saved and, like, had the majority of votes on me, because John made that really smart play to vote for me when he knew I was getting saved, that I just kind of went with whatever. But Maris had been on my side, and she was rightfully pissed at me because she was on my side, and I voted her off twice. So that was a big regret, because I think if she stays in, I could have done some more. But hindsight's 2020.
It's tough. Maddie, so really quick before we get to Zach's biggest regret. So you said the John V vote was initially Tyler, and you changed your mind very last second. What kind of went into your thought process to change your mind?
Yeah, it was super last minute. Like, it really was Tyler up until, like, the last moment. Like, I think I was, like, third person to vote, and, like, Rebecca had voted John and Taylor had voted Tyler. I had no idea who Tyler was voting for. I thought he maybe was voting for me, because you were, I think during that tribal council, you were like, yeah, John, I'm with you, or something, after John, like, screamed my name. So just funny. Yeah, for Taylor's question here, I answered in the chat too, but it was hard. It's hard to tell like what I would have done if I would have seen the parchment because I feel like I would have sussed out vibes that like they wouldn't let us read it since it said it expired. But it was a super last minute decision for me to vote John. I just really, really, really trusted Rebecca's judgment in that moment. And so I decided to go with it and it worked out. So I was definitely in my head a lot in that last final tribal council or in that last, what was it, final 5?
Yeah. It's crazy. Crazy. Another player that brought some craziness to the screen and to this reunion, Zach. So any regrets for you, man?
Yeah, kind of actually segueing off of one thing Ben said. He said that one thing, like, you know, he wishes he could have stood up and been like, Tyler snake ass or something. But like he mentioned being scared, and that's like honestly just the main thing for me is that, like, you know, like in these kind of like on like Real Survivor, a lot of like these postseason presses, people will say stuff like, oh, I, like, you know, or Jeff, or like there's a sentiment around like playing like it's your second time, you know? And I think that's something I really wish I did. Like just not really giving a crap if I didn't have like everyone on my side or everyone having a potential to work with me, you know? Like you can't have everyone with you. So that's a huge thing for me. Not being like enough like what's the word? Offensive, like not being a little too reserved with my strategy. I wish I was a little more like actually like seeking out people as opposed to like kind of just riding the wave of like, oh, you know, oh, that person's not really talking to someone. Okay, I'll talk to them. Like more so being like, hey, I want to talk to you, and then pulling them to the side, like doing more stuff like that. Because I think that could have contributed to maybe helping me be safe. I wasn't sure exactly. I thought no, I wasn't. I was calling Rebecca snake ass because I was mad that she idled because I was just bitter. And then I was like, as I was walking off as I was walking. Also, I don't even know what I was saying in the voting confessional, like because I had a DM with Devin where Devin was like, "What were you saying?" And I said like apparently like I thought you were the little loud girl. Something I don't know. And I was like, I don't even know what I was saying there. But another thing too, like little last regret. Like the main thing is like just play like it's your second time. Be a little more boisterous. Be a little more like not less afraid. But Maris, she comes to me at the beginning of the merge, and she was like, "John voted you." Like she like knew. She was like, I don't know. Like she just had some like really gut feeling, and I just didn't listen to it. I was just like, nah. Like I just fully dismissed that. And because I thought she was just trying to like pin it on him because he just seemed like an easy like villain scapegoat. Little did I know that this is like Mr. Villain of the Year or something. So yeah, I was just like a little too naive, not taking like you gotta just take any like little bit of stuff you can get from people and like actually like take it in and not really ignore, you know, red flags like that, which I would have loved to if I knew that. I'm a huge revenge person, so I would have like yeeted John's ass if I like, because I love revenge. If I knew that he had placed that vote on me. So yeah, kind of a conglomeration.
Man, I love it, dude. All right, we'll close some things off here with the awards, and then we'll get into some like last couple of things that we want, you know, some last answers on. So the last 5 awards we got now. So first up, favorite alliance. It also won best duo, of course. Hashtag FTK for the kids. Ben and John voted the best alliance. You guys kind of touched on it already. I mean, John, what was your initial thought on Ben when you met the guy? Why'd you want to work with him so badly?
Said this dude's a fucking teacher now. No, I don't know. It was something about Ben. He was like, "Yeah, I'm from the East Coast. I'm a teacher." I was like,
"Yeah, I am from the East Coast." That wasn't a lie.
Is that true? All right. So I was
yes,
like,
I'm from DC.
You saw it? I honestly, I think it was the East Coast thing. I'm like, fuck. I'm telling everybody I'm from Brooklyn. I just came over here. I was like, I'm gonna get cooked unless I get Ben on my side. And you say you was a teacher? I was like, yo, this is Bad Boys 2. Like we're running.
And then I said, I'm gonna be cooked if you're not on my side.
Yeah. So I think that's what it was. It was just the vibes. And like Zach is somebody that I would love to fucking go drink with, do a Spartan race with. Like Zach is chill. I mean, Ben is chill, but I didn't even know Ben was chaotic like that, so I watched it back. To me, Ben was the calmest dude. He was like the principal, but low key, you're like wild as fuck, man.
Dude, you are too. You were doing all kinds of shit I didn't even know about.
Yeah, but I was low key doing it.
It was meant to
I
be.
watched you run by like fucking the Roadrunner. Zoop. Yo, they're dating. Preposterous. You're
Huge news.
Yeah.
Shit was so funny, bro.
All right. So now, most memorable moment. There's a lot of different options. I let it be like a free for all. People putting in answers. So it did end up being not Ben's huge news, but Ben, that's preposterous.
Oh my god.
I think it's the facial reaction alone, man.
Dude, I was floored. I was like, are you guys fucking kidding me? I was number one, floored that they kept it all secret. Second of all, I was floored that John, my close ally, had some other shit going on. I was like, oh damn, I'm underestimating the hell out of this dude. He is gaming right now. And I knew I was cooked. But it was, yeah, I mean, but then once I found out, also I was like, all right, let me be like really funny, first of all, because the camera's right here. Second of all, because like that'll make people think that I'm just like goofy and not really strategizing. Turns out I actually was goofy and not really strategizing, but I thought I could throw people off.
Yeah, dude, it was something else. I mean, I obviously didn't know that happened, so I texted you when I was watching back. I'm like, are you kidding me? All right, so now next up is best move of the season. Two of the bigger moves of the season were first and second. We got second is Tyler's steal a vote at 7. I think definitely helped the end game part of it. And then first place, once again, involving Ben, Kira's idle play on Ben. So Kira, I guess touch on why you wanted to say Ben there. Just to keep your line strong and just keep showing the loyalty, or what?
I think there were a few reasons for that. And I could play on any of them. Definitely wanted to keep like the alliance and the numbers for sure. I wanted to keep working with who I was working with. So, you know, the names that had been out had been like me and Ben. And so it was kind of like, I kind of have to save Ben also to save myself and like keep the numbers. But also I just really liked working with who, you know, my tribe and who I was working with. Wanted to keep that going. The person who was going to get voted out was the person who was coming for me. So it was kind of like, well, this is my way to get this person out too. I mean, I wanted to show loyalty, which I definitely was really loyal. John is right. It's kind of funny to admit this, but like, I felt like John, I was worried. He was kind of like whispering with Natalie and some other people. And I was like, am I getting played by this whole little, you know, we know each other alliance? And so I asked him, like, is this what I should do? Because like, I'll just go with you. I don't, you know what I mean? So it's kind of funny. I mean, I definitely did save Ben, but if John was like, oh, come with us with the numbers, I might have done that. So it's pretty funny. But no, ultimately, like I did want it to be Bulai, you know, strong, keep going. And not because that's boring, but just because I liked them. I like playing with them and his good numbers. But yeah, I don't know. There's honestly a lot of reasons to it. I really had to get Natalie out. She would not stop going for me. So that was pretty funny.
Natalie, why Kira?
Wait, why Kira? Because she literally just explained that her two main allies were men. Okay, I was not.
No, and Maddie and Maris, and I wanted to keep Monica, and I could have voted out any of those guys.
It was literally Ben and John. When I heard that, she ain't for the girls. I ain't gonna, like, I'm gunning for her. My eyes were locked. Okay, I could not see another path. But the names, I know the numbers were between Ben and me. So I was just like, it's hilarious because, like, when you said, like, you'd ask John because you saw him talking to me, I was talking to him. I was spiraling because I was just like, you are not, I, like, literally went up to Taylor and him, like, you guys are not voting me off. We came here together. I'm taking the bus home. I ain't riding back if I know you.
Hold on. There's some insights for this, right? So I'm working with Kira and Ben at this point. Whatever Taylor's doing, whatever, we'll figure it out. Natalie comes over from the other side of the bench at Tribal, and she's like, who you voting for? You voting for Kira?
She was
And I'm
pressing
like,
me.
I was like, yo, Kira got my back. And then she's like, I got your back in real life. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like, you do not fucking know me. And then she keeps looking at me. She's like, who has your back in real life? And then Kira is behind me. And I'm like, this is so fucking bad. I'm like, please shut up. I'm not supposed to know you. I'm trying to, save face for Bo because I'm trying to keep my lines and I'm trying to save her. And she kept looking at me. She's like, who has your back in real life? And I'm like,
I was freaking the hell
so I'm like,
out.
I'm not going to vote Natalie out, but I know her ass is going right now. There was nothing I could do. I couldn't work my magic, but
Yeah.
That's unreal.
which was so suspect.
I know,
was
but
so
I
sus.
couldn't deal. I was just like, oh hell no, I'm going out this round. I already know it. Like I didn't care. I'm throwing a Hail Mary if I can. We're gonna see what happens.
Well, why are you sitting next to me, sit next to
I didn't give
her?
a fuck. I did.
I was
Both
like,
of them.
said Natalie, go.
She was like, go.
Natalie, what were your thoughts when I yelled your name when I voted?
Well, I was gunning for Kira, so when I heard that you were putting my name out, I was like, oh hell no, I'm gonna go for you.
Who the hell did you think I was voting for?
I didn't know, but I didn't hear your name. Like once I heard your name, like I said, my name from your mouth, I was just like, oh hell no, I'm gonna try my damn hardest.
Also,
I need to say,
the funny
I
thing
need to
is
say
nobody said Ben's name until Ben said his name, and then that shit started circling. You just had to just be quiet that round. You were good, and you just like, I heard my name. Nobody said your name.
Bro, Taylor, I think Taylor's the one who said it. Taylor goes, the only person I heard Ben's name from was Ben. I was like,
You kept saying that. I'm like, I didn't hear your name, but whatever.
Every conversation, he's like, I heard my name's out. And I was like, now it is. I don't know.
it's like, Kira, what do you got to say?
I was going to say, I feel like what's interesting about this is the biggest thing that solidified me wanting to work with people is that they would tell me that my name was out and then they were riding with me. So it's like, I don't know how tight I felt with specific people until it was like, oh, they're coming to me, telling me that my name's been out. And this includes Maris, by the way. And they're going against that. They're actively working to get out someone who is coming against me. So that made me feel closer to them more than like anything else prior. So it was like the situation itself is like what created that bond. It wasn't like before that exactly. And even watching it back, this is how I felt in the game. But like Maris is coming, like Natalie is going really hard for you. And then like Ben too was like, no way, no, we're not doing that. And I knew John was riding with me. You know what I mean? So it's like that loyalty is what I kind of like care about the most. And I'm like, well, then I can trust these people and that's what I want to work with. But in the beginning of the game or like even in the beginning of the merge, if someone had come to me genuinely and been like, we're doing all girls, I would have been like, hell yeah, like for sure. So I just think it's funny that situation kind of like created that bond in my head.
All right, let's get to the last two awards here. So first up, fan favorite between the hashtag FTK gang again. Fan favorite is it's a guy who is not a teacher. Ben, you won fan favorite, sir.
Are you guys kidding me? Thank you to my friends, my fans. I don't really have fans, but genuinely I meant what I said and that I was just like I had like the time of my life playing this. I'm glad that fun spread through the screen. I guess you guys enjoyed watching me play too. I enjoyed watching me play. It was really fun. It was really funny. And I would love to be able to do it again sometime, but I really appreciate it. This was a blast and I literally will talk about it to anybody who will listen to me. So it was awesome.
Yeah, dude, you're one entertaining player for sure. Easy to root for. Same with John V, I think. So now player of the season. Between one vote between Tyler and Taylor, the winner of player of the season is Taylor. Taylor, you won the $200 and now you won player of the season. Congrats.
How have I gotten second?
We gotta check those emails.
Tyler, just short everyone.
Those emails, I'm not sure.
Any thoughts, Taylor, on getting player of the season?
Sorry?
Any thoughts on getting player of the season?
I think that's an honor. I didn't vote for myself for anything. I feel like there were so many. Everyone could have won that award for different reasons. It was super. Everyone was super entertaining and such big game moves from a lot of people. So I'm very honored.
What a humble diplomat.
Tyler, getting second on everything, man. I mean, clearly, dude, you were a very good player in this season. How did it feel like being so popular at the start of the merge where everybody was coming for you? I think Ben in his interview said Tyler was the most popular guy on the beach. Why do you think everyone was coming to you and it seemed like you had a pretty good hold on it?
Yeah, I think can you guys hear me?
Yep. You're good.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, good. So yeah, I think what was happening was honestly it was kind of a shock for me because I mean I've played multiple.
Ooh, cutting out.
Cutting out, man. Maybe try without the headphones.
No.
Am I back again?
Is he at Maddie's house?
Back again.
No.
Yeah, what was that about? The secret that you thought that, John?
Wait, what?
The Tyler.
Wait.
Oh, Tyler, Maddie. I was like, they're definitely humping. There has
Humping is crazy.
low key. I was like, yo, Tyler and Maddie.
Humping?
Yeah, humping. I was like, they're procreating or something. Something's going on. But I was wrong. That was my hunch. I thought they were dating. I thought they were a power couple. I don't know why.
Humping? What?
Oh, no,
Oh, this motherfucker Tyler has a girlfriend.
Yeah, he does.
I thought it was Maddie. I don't know. Who the fuck is it?
Humping is crazy.
Oh, man. Yeah, when I was editing that, it kind of came out of nowhere. You're like, I think Maddie's with Tyler.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe.
Who knows? Tyler, anyways. Back to kind of before what I was trying to say. Again, Tyler. Try it without the headphones.
The frozen face is killing me.
He can't even defend himself, poor guy.
Now am I back? I think I'm good because I connected to a hotspot.
You're
good now.
Okay,
You're good
fantastic. Right, perfect. Yeah. So back to the question. I was honestly kind of shocked to have been in such a favorable position at the merge because I played many games at Minnesota, and like my first season there, I was kind of on the wrong side of a pagonging, and I was like very much a target for a lot of the game. And then my other games, I kind of had like such a big reputation being like the one who runs the club and kind of knows everybody so well. And so I got used to just being like such a massive target. Like people would go for me for no reason, even if like I'm stirring the boat. So like something that I had to change coming into this one, just knowing everybody made it a lot different. I think made it better. And so
Oh my god,
yeah,
my voice cutting out.
I knew.
You're kind of in and out.
I think
Tyler, oh my god, I love you.
Am I back?
It's just like really like echoing. Sorry.
Bro, you sound like
I'll
Wally.
try my best. Wally.
Yeah, I mean, Tyler, like, if you can hear me, I know that feeling when you're kind of running this. Like, I run this, and I played a few times, and it's immediate, like, I'm the biggest target because I run it or whatever. But it was nice seeing you get a chance to come out here and play where you didn't
I think
have that
part of
chance.
it with that Tyler thing, may I add, was
Yeah.
like you guys know, like heroes versus villains, like Real Survivor. Like I think it's maybe I'm delusional, but I think part of it is kind of like, you know, especially when everything's like 5 minutes between like every event, kind of. You're looking for like any like thing to cling on to like be like, oh, okay, maybe I could give it this person. I think a lot of our people on Bully Tribe were like already seeing that. Like, or at least for me, I saw that Natalie and Taylor were close. I was like, because I could see them like by each other a lot. And I think a lot of us kind of had that read. And I also think that, you know, with Tyler being the only guy from that tribe to come to merge, kind of like how Russell Hance was, like and you know how JT like gave the idol to Russell because he thought, oh, you're being the girls are getting you out. Like here's this idol JT to Russell. I think it was kind of like I think that maybe could have added to like that sense of security. Like oh well, at least we know he's not in some like Girl Alliance or something. Like at least we know he could be a free agent or something. So I think that's a small thing that could have added to it.
Yeah, I think one thing I noticed too was challenge performance wise. I've been like historically terrible in the past, but I knew how important like if I could get through the pre-merge, I could be in a much better spot. And so I was given like 120% in the pre-merge challenges, just because really so much of that is dependent on like what numbers you go into the merge with and everything like that. So yeah, it was a blast to play. I think this was probably the best game that I've played in terms of like how I did and everything. So I'm proud of myself for that, and it was a great journey for me, just going from being the biggest threat all the time at Minnesota to then kind of seeing how I could do in a fresh start.
Yeah, it was awesome, dude.
Also, real quick, I'm curious. Sorry, I have another thing. If Vuka went to another tribal council, who was going home? Like between the four, I'm curious from the people that are here.
I think Will.
Like before swap, like before Kira got there.
Yeah. I think Will.
Will. Okay. And then Kira.
I think a lot of us were a little sketched out by Will for a while, just especially like during the Atticus vote, with him being so kind of loud and out in the open. Like, yeah, he was winning that side of the battle, but like going forward, I don't think we wanted him around for that much longer, just because we saw how crazily he could swing a vote like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I'm also curious from Kira, who would have you idled out?
Yeah.
And I think, okay, so I had the best vibes with Rebecca. And I think that still holds true. Like, I think we both liked each other and it just didn't happen for some reason. But like pregame, like in the pregame and not by pregame, like the 10 minutes, whatever long it was that we all got to chat after we got there, like I vibe with her right away. So I think I would have wanted to like try to get with her and be like, okay, what do you want to do? And this is not even shade because I came into the game knowing people. So this is not a bad thing, but I had the same vibe from Natalie and Taylor, which ends up being correct of like, oh, they know each other. They came together. And I knew that like I had something like that I was trying to keep secret because of the danger it can be. So like I saw the danger in that as well. So like I feel like I would have wanted to go for one of them just solely because of that. But I don't know. I really wanted to work with Rebecca. So it kind of would have depended on like what she said, what the vibes were on that tribe too.
Makes sense.
So is there any other things you guys want to talk about? I mean, I want to thank you guys all again for playing and being so active during the season, because it made it probably our most fun season we've had in a long, long time. So
it was a blast.
Yeah. I feel at peace.
Feel at peace? Now you do?
Now I do, yeah.
I want to say something. I think for a one-day game, this was like a great experience. I felt like I played with players from all different levels. There was no layups. Everyone was great. They brought their own thing.
Keep going.
I don't know what the fucking Natalie's doing. But Devin, I also want to give you a big fucking shout out for taking a risk of like casting me with my girlfriend. Like you didn't know who I was from a hole in the wall, and he was like, "I'm gonna put you in the game." And I'm definitely Wisconsin for life. So like Survivor games, challenge games, Big Brother games, I'm gonna do whatever to help y'all. And I'm really riding with you, and whatever you do in the future, I'm going to always promote you and go hard because you gave me a chance, especially at this point in my LRG career where a lot of people won't cast me because they think I'm a hostile player. You really took that chance, and I got a lot of love for you and for Wisconsin, and whatever you need, I'm here for you, bro.
I appreciate it. We like hostile. Don't worry.
Huge love to Devin.
Much love to Devin. Devin's the man. I can't wait to go to Wisconsin and drink 17 fish balls with Rich Dog. Maybe 300 because that motherfucker's a fish.
Yeah.
He lives in an aquarium.
I will say, like, I only do Survivor. Richie does his own challenge thing that's kind of separate from this, I think he's trying to do. So mine will only be Survivor probably forever. So I appreciate you guys, though, the kind words and stuff. And yeah, I didn't know what to expect because it's always our seasons have always been people we know. So it was nice to get like, even though like you said you played so many times, to us you guys were all fresh faces. So it was a breath of fresh air, and you guys made it entertaining as hell. And there's really good gameplay and really good winner too.
I mean, she's like, anyway.
Biggest hater. That's crazy.
So cheers, guys. Thank
cheers.
you.
I love all this.
Cheers.
And Zach, I hope you're not salty. My first 3 games, I went out really bad. People had like pre-relationships. Don't let that discourage you. Like my first 3 games, I should have quit, but I kept going and I built my legacy. Do the same thing, bro. Like you're definitely a great player. You're gonna learn as you play what to do, what to not say, and I'm gonna be rooting for you in the future. Nothing but love.
I appreciate the wisdom. Thank you so much, John. It was an honor getting to meet you and everyone else here.
Same.
I guess one last thing I'll say is there anything you think we could improve on or bring into our next season? Because our season 8 is going to be August 16th with all new people to our game again, so we're looking forward to that.
I have one thing I immediately thought of. The music at Tribal Council. That track was shit. I'm sorry. Whoever chose that one, like I was like, it's not giving. Like choose get some Survivor Cambodia. Get that music. That's what I would recommend.
Which time? Because I didn't really use music during Tribal.
I was like the music. It just I don't know. I was kind of like ooh, like, and it was also I don't know. Get a speaker. I'll bring a speaker if you need it. Like get it.
The only thing with that is I don't want to get copyrighted.
True. But it's like these. I don't know. I feel like these little like it's like the little accounts that have it. I don't know how that shit
We could
works.
have someone do live music into a
Yeah.
microphone, like,
We could like
acapella tribal music.
we could like spend a little more money when we're like applying to
There's free.
pay
There's
for
free,
live
free
production.
music on YouTube. There's free unlicensed music on YouTube. That's Survivor-ish. You could use for free. You don't have to pay anybody.
Yeah.
I think you should make people not talk to each other when it's time
Yeah.
to vote. I think that would be more interesting.
There's 2 things. Once you're gonna go vote, nobody talking, and
Yeah.
no phone access at all. Once you go in the game, put that shit in a bucket. You put that in one of the product's cars, and that's it.
Yeah.
And
The
nobody
phone thing-
leaving for merge. Nobody leaving for merge. You gotta stay there. If you ain't bring no snacks, eat some fucking grass. Nobody's leaving.
Yeah.
The phone thing actually, like in the past, like every season besides probably the last like 2 or 3, we've always taken each other's phones because but the only thing with no phones is I just feel like if there's emergency or something, but
Well, have them give your name for
Emergency
like,
contact.
yo, mom, I'm gonna go play this niche Survivor game. If someone catches a diabetes attack, text Devin. That's what you gotta do.
Yeah, like emergency contact. Yeah, maybe that'd be a good idea.
Yeah, that's it.
That's true.
No slide puzzles next season.
Yeah.
Time in the day.
It won't. If there is one, it won't be that one. I'll say that.
A 2x2.
Oh my god, it's so embarrassing.
But also, I think like if you need help with like people filming, like let us know. Like we can reach out to people because if you need multiple angles, we got you.
Yeah, Tyler has his own little thing going. Like he could
Tyler's
probably-
already helping next season.
Yeah, Tyler's like the ambassador of like Minnesota, right?
Ambassador.
Governor of Minnesota, bro. Like good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's it. Congrats to Taylor for winning. Congrats to the award winners. Thanks for the chat for being active. I couldn't show all your comments because they're a little too off topic to show sometimes. But yeah, season 8 is going to be filming August 16th, so a new season will be soon. Tomorrow, me and Christian, I think Christian, but me for sure will be live, kind of revealing our next 5 season plan for the next couple of years. So tune in for that. And
with the cast, or you don't know what cast you're putting for the next 5 years?
or 5 seasons, so it won't be 5 years. It'll probably be like you'll see tomorrow, but a lot of returning seasons. So yeah.
Also,
And-
shout out to Devin for getting it out so quick.
Oh,
There's games that
Yeah.
are like
Yeah,
years
actually
later
so fast.
still- and
Genuinely,
it's
like
actually-
blew my mind.
Yeah.
no shade, but definitely fucking shade. I don't give a fuck. I'm John V.
Uh-oh.
Yo, shout out to Devin for Devin is a real dude who's passionate about his project that he pushed it out so fast. there's dudes that put shit out, and then once they cast for the next season, they don't put nothing out. So shout out, Stranded. Shout out to Devin. Much love.
Oh, seriously, yeah. Like I blew my mind. I was like, damn, this is so like concise and like steady and like consistent.
And
like,
it's
wow.
good quality.
So
That's
impressive,
gonna do nothing but improve. Because now you got the LRG plug. We're gonna keep putting you on the podcast every year every season when you do something. So let's keep doing it.
Speaking of, can we talk about how that one dude from the LRG podcast chose the top 3 in his draft?
I know.
That was crazy.
Who texted him? Somebody gave him a text. He had the insider tip. He was on some fucking Martha Stewart shit. Martha Stewart.
It was so hard to keep a straight face when he was picking that. Oh, here's Nicholas. Nicholas, reveal who you are. We know you're someone we know.
Dude, whose burner are you, dude?
Send him the StreamYard link.
Once again, like I said earlier, I've never seen Matt Essman and Nicholas in the chat at the same time.
Well, they haven't been today, though.
Matt Essman is coming.
No, Nick didn't show up till now, I don't think.
He wasn't there.
All right, well, we might be seeing some of these faces again in the future. If that's it, thank you guys again. Really appreciate it. Strong game, entertaining. If you're watching this, you haven't watched the season, I don't know what the hell you're doing. Go watch it. Stay tuned for more updates. And apply for Season 8 if you're a new player. We're really looking for a lot more female players for this season, hopefully. So please apply. We got a good amount of guys that apply. We need some more females in there.
Natalie, hook them up.
Final three females.
DM us. We got some Midwest girls that want to play.
All right. Say less. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. It was a pleasure.
Thanks,
great season. Great cast. Great winner.
Fuck the kids. I mean, for the kids.
For the kids.
Thanks for the chat. Thanks, chat.
Bye, all.
Yep.
Bye. Until next time.